Alright, so Red Rill is out on global, and I think it's time to talk about my GOAT, a unit that's very good at extremely low investment. And listen, I've been seeing, or I've heard that a lot of people are summoning for him. I don't think you should be summoning, right? Just little disclaimer, right? You could get Rill for free, and then his skill page is in the shop. Now, I've been saying this for like 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks, that I mean, you just save your dupes, and then with 8 dupes you could get this, right? So any dupes from like units that you may not completely need, I definitely recommend to put them into these type of seasonals, right? So yeah, if you haven't been doing that, I mean, for the future, good to know that don't feed all your dupes in. All right, because it's going to come a time where you don't want to summon on the banner, but still want to get the skill page, which is this exact case. Because Red Rill is just that good. All right, he is really good, going to be amazing in RTA, amazing in PvP, and amazing in future metas with like more updated mono red teams. So let's just hop into what exactly he does, right? So he is a red supporter at 120 speed, 123 with +3 speed, obviously. His skill 1 gives 20% mobility to a defender, and honestly, it's a pretty nice skill 1 considering he is red and meant to be ran mostly on mono red. But even in the future with Valkyrie Noelle, if you decide to run him with her, or if it's pick and ban and you need to run Rill because your other supports have been taken, then it's good in either cases. Now, skill 2 gives damage reduction and speed, which is the main part of his kit. It's just a more upgraded, in my opinion, version of Finroll, unless you're going for a full cleave type of team comp. I feel like this one just plays out safer. You get the damage reduction plus 35% speed, just allowing everyone after to usually go first. And it's very good. And now you get the speed because of the skill page, which is why you kind of want the skill page. It makes him a lot better, makes the whole team better, especially on mono red, so definitely something you guys should be getting. Now, the ult is just as crazy, giving 100% mobility. Now, how this is going to work, you can check out showcases, all that stuff, is that when you ult, let's say someone's already at 100% mobility, well, this is technically putting them at 200% mobility, which then means that they're going to be able to attack twice in a row if you give this to someone already at max mobility. Now, if they're at like 30%, technically they're at like 130%, and when they attack, they're still going to be at 30%, which is why this ult is so crazy just on anyone. Now, his combo can technically be used. I can't count. 25% mobility increase is decent. It's nothing crazy, but I mean, it could work if you really need it. Like in some cases, it could work, but it's just nothing like insane. Now, I mean, like from his base kit, just looking at everything, he is like pretty good just overall. But then you get into like his passives and if you should dupe him, and let's talk about that. So his unique passive gives himself 5 speed. Now, is it a necessity? No, because he's already at 120 speed. So he's really just quicker than almost everyone in the game already. If we're looking at it right, character stats, speed, okay, he's already here. There is barely anyone quicker than him, and there's no DPS really quicker than him. So it doesn't really matter if you have that extra 5 speed. So just keep that in mind. Unless you're trying to go for like a cleave comp, maybe like to use this, right? I don't know. But in most cases, you should be safe. But obviously with mono red, it just makes him that extra touch better to go before certain supports, which could be good in some cases. Now, his passives, do you need them? Not really. This passive from the LR+2 is pretty good, I guess. But the LR+5 isn't needed. Like, getting 20% mobility increase when you take damage from an attacker, long term is pretty good. Because it seems like Black Divider should be an attacker. Azor is an attacker. Works. A bunch of DPSs got buffed, right? So long run, 20% mobility is going to work out nice, but it's not a necessity. The stats you get from the dupes too aren't like anything crazy. Magic attack and Perez, if it was maybe defense or HP, maybe it'd be a bit better, but it's not. This extra SP does let him get his ult a lot quicker, especially when you count everything in his kit, including his skill page, to let you get even more SP. But overall though, it's not a necessity, okay? So you're safe, like getting him even at 0 dupes, honestly. He works out more than fine at 0 dupes. He's one of the only units that is super low investment and not worth summoning for, besides like getting the skill page. So yeah, I mean, that's why Rill is so good, because he's able to keep up with the meta without needing pretty much, I guess, any dupes, which is very nice. Now, in terms of skill pages, let's talk about like the skill pages. Now, I basically already hinted at it, but this skill page is insane. Now, this passive isn't crazy until you have a max dupe, because getting 2 SP every time you're attacked by an attacker can start stacking up, and you being able to spam your ult more is nice. But it's mainly the speed increase, so if you're able to get it, that's great. If not, I think he does lose a bit of value, honestly. I think that this speed increase does work out very, very nicely, so I would recommend probably trying to actually get it, but if you can't, and you still want to use them, I mean, I guess you can. Okay, I guess you can. It's just this cleave is very nice. So I would say most of you guys should pretty much only be using them with this. But if not, you got this one to get extra SP to try and like profit from the ult. And then you could build them either more tanky with the HP or more tanky with defense. Up to you what you have pretty much available to you. There's not really many skill pages. I recommend getting his skill page. I'm going to say this once. I'm going to say it again. But basically that's it. Now, as for his talents, you want to put this. Okay, skill 2 is the main part of his kit. So please, 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 right, just get this. And, 20% chance could still go a long way. And then obviously you just put the block instead of actually extra damage. Doesn't really matter. Now for this, I usually like putting the defense and then the debuff immunity one, unless it's a very special type of build. If it's a special type of build, I mean, it's hard to do it, right, unless you have the special defense slot. If you do, then the special defense slot, like sometimes I'd say either like defense and crit res or defense and HP would work best. But besides that, these two usually work out for the best. Now on this side, it doesn't really matter, but a damage delta and crit damage usually works the best. Now for this, putting speed best for sure, because he wants to, still be quick, right? Or HP, either or. And for this one, defense for sure, make him more tanky. And then here, it doesn't really matter, but if you want to put something, I guess magic attack and attack, but that's kind of like it, right? For talents, it's a pretty simple build for him. Just want to be able to spam his skill 2 more and more and more. Now for defense, gear build, there's only 2 sets, because, well, the third set doesn't really matter. I mean, you could put one, but like, if you're able to, like for global, it's a very different story. But the best sets, if we're speaking realistically, would be speed, defense, and then the third set could be either the one where he gets extra speed when he ults, or the one where he gets damage reduction when he's above 90% HP. Since he's going to be ran with Witch Queen, he will be getting healed, so this one works. But if you can't run that, then just put anything else. Like you could have like a third set random set defense, like HP. If you got the clown set built up and you want to use it, that works out too, right? Anything that really fits the third set just to be max transcended works out the best, okay? Even if you want to put damage reduction, right? There's so many that you could put, but usually speed, defense are the 2 main ones. Now, it would be HP if you run them with an HP build, but personally, I think defense build works out just fine. Main reason, especially if you're running with Black Asta puts defense increase, and in the future, Gray will too. So defense build, well, you're obviously going to be able to scale much more with the tankiness when you got 2 defense increases on you, right? Now, for the substats, going for crit res and defense percent are going to be the main ones. Now, if you do want to build with an HP set, go ahead, right? If you need to put Rill on HP because you don't have another defense set because you're using 2, one on red, one on red Rill, then sure, put an HP build. But honestly, I feel like defense build would just go a long way. Now, when we get level 125 on global, obviously, it could definitely change. I would say that with 125, getting the HP build does work very well if you have like HP percent increases too. But overall, it's just a simpler build also because it's easier to get defense accessories. So your defense is just going to scale much, much better if you run defense percent substats, crit res substats, and like any other little thing like a bit of damage res and a bit of HP, right, could go a long way. But yeah, obviously this best one would be HP, best one defense. Just make them as tanky as possible. So now we could head over to JP to get the teams. Okay, so let me try to get over to JP. And all right, so on global, this is basically going to be the team. You're going to put Witch Queen and Asta together just so you could get that stun. But honestly, if you want to put Rill with Asta too, just because Rill doesn't always need his ult compared to Witch Queen, having that ult ready is very important. Or, with Asta, any way that really works best for you, right? So usually Rill in this team starts off with a skill 2 into ult, Witch Queen skill 2s and then like skill 1s or alts right away after. Asta goes, either you could go for the combo or the skill 2. I would say starting with skill 2 and playing the long game works the best, and then obviously going for the alt skill 2, right? So Witch Queen, like even at that, like you don't need to put it, but like if you do, I mean, even start with the skill 1 so you could delay the alt more, something like that. Anything that works for you guys. For this team, it's more of a cleave team, but it works very well, and it's very annoying, right? This could also be Finral, but I just obviously it's a Rill video, and you could definitely do this with Rill. It's a bit safer because you get the extra damage reduction. Even a bit of damage reduction for mono red does go a long way. And then Lotus has a 60% chance to remove all buffs, which is basically giving 0% damage reduction to them. Like, it puts them down to 0% damage reduction. And in the future, this team is insane, incredible, literally like top 2 meta teams right now, it seems. Just because of the fact that Rill is able to increase the speed, increase damage reduction for this team is very strong, alongside Graze having the DLT stack, and then have Asta just go crazy. So like these are like the 3 main teams that I'm seeing. But then even if do I have it, like, where would I have it? Do I have it anywhere? It doesn't seem so. So like if you want to put it with Noel, like if you want to have Rill as one of the slots, like have a DPS here or not, right, as a solo DPS, you could for sure do that, right? Get Noel multiple turns right away. Could go crazy, okay? Just have a full support lineup, just throwing random supports together. Doesn't need to look like this, right? Obviously, because Charlotte exists. So, putting Rill with Noel 2, because obviously skill 1 also gives a mobility increase, could go crazy. Noel gets a bunch of turns, and it could definitely shake things up, but it's not like as good as I personally thought it would be, but it's definitely an option. But for sure, any team with involving Black Asta is way better. But that's basically it for the Rill video. Let me know what you guys think of Rill. I think he's a great unit, and for any defender coming out, he'll be pretty decent. And just in the future, it's going to be hard to get rid of him completely, and especially with pick and ban, it's going to be nice to have someone like Rill, just a very casual seasonal that I hope you guys did not summon for. But besides that, I'm done the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.